Hello, my name is Whitney, and right now I'm in one of Wheaton's fab labs. Today I'll be showing you how to use the Prusa 3D printers. The process that we'll be using today is called FDM printing, which stands for Fused Deposition Modeling. FDM printing is when a thermoplastic material is melted and pushed out of a nozzle layer by layer to make a 3D object. Please note that this video does not go over how to use 3D modeling softwares like Tinkercad, SketchUp, or Fusion 360. Instead, we will begin by learning how to use Prusa Slicer. Now let's open up Prusa Slicer. Prusa Slicer is a free software that we use to prepare 3D models for printing. First, we want to import our 3D model. This was previously saved as an STL file. Right now, we are in object mode. This is where we can manipulate the size, the placement, and the orientation. Make sure that your model is placed flat on the print bed. With more complex models, you can use this tool to adjust. Next, let's look at these settings. The print settings will tell the machine how detailed to make each layer. This will affect how thick each layer will be and how long it will take to print. In general, 0.20 millimeters is good for most prints. Now we need to select which type of filament that we will be using. Generic PLA is good for our purposes. Please note that if you try to print with a different type of filament from what you select here, that will lead to problems when using the machine. After that, make sure to select the correct printer type. And this is either the printer name that ends with MK3 or MK3S. There are signs in the Fab Lab that will tell you which one is which. Next, we need to decide if our model needs supports. If a model has any overhangs or slanting walls, then it may need supports. If you are unsure, then speak to a lab member. Infill is how to change the density of your print. 15% is the default setting. Once we have chosen our settings, we can click Slice Now. This brings us into layer mode, where we can see what our print will look like at every stage of the print. We can view this by dragging this orange bar up and down. Notice the software calculates how long the estimated printing time is. To be on the safe side, assume that your print will take longer than what is listed. Now we can export the G-code. This is the 3D printer. Over here is the print bed, this is the control panel, and then this is the extruder. Before and after every print, we want to clean the machine with isopropyl alcohol. This helps the print to adhere to the bed. Let's take off the magnetic sheet. Use a napkin to spread some isopropyl alcohol on the bed, and you can place it back on. Let's turn on the machine. We're going to mount our filament roll on this handle here. Let's make sure that the loose end is facing towards us. And to load the filament, we want to cut the tip at a 45-degree angle. This helps the filament to load a bit better. To place the filament tip into this hole right here. When you do that, the machine will prompt with asking you which filament type to choose. We want to choose PLA. Now the machine will preheat. Once the machine has preheated, it will prompt you to load the filament by pressing the knob. You may need to press down a little to make sure that the filament is moving down the extruder. The screen will ask if the filament is extruding with the correct color. If it is not, press No, and the machine will continue to load. Once you see the correct color, you can press Yes. Next, we can insert the SD card. Choose your file name. And now the machine is going to self-calibrate. You are required to stay for the first 30 minutes of your print. If after that you'd like to leave, make sure to write your name and phone number on a sticky note. To remove the print, we want to take off the magnetic print bed. Next, we can scrape it off. And now we have our print. Before leaving, we want to make sure to clean the print bed one more time. This is using isopropyl alcohol. And then we place the magnetic bed back onto the machine. Let's unload the printer now. To unload the filament, we go to the menu, scroll down to Unload Filament, press the knob, and choose PLA again. The machine is now preheating. Press the knob to unload filament, and then pull the filament out, and we're done.